Good morning. It's Sunday again, and it's also the 1st of May. I don't know how it came to be the 1st of May already, but yeah, it is. And it's my birthday on the 10th, and I am 55 on the 10th of May, and I don't know how that happened either. The years just seem to go so quick, especially when you're getting older. So today, guys, I'm not going to read any poetry today. As I said, this will be my last video for a couple of weeks because I'm going away. I actually leave on Tuesday because I'm not leaving from Edinburgh. I'm having to leave from Glasgow. So yeah, this will be my last video for a couple of weeks. I think I'll be back on the 22nd or the 21st of May. So yeah, I thought today I'm not going to read any poetry. I'm just going to talk about a couple of things. And as you know, that I always say the channel is called Poetry and Musings. So I don't really need to talk about poetry all the time, although I am going to talk about poetry to start with, but I'm not actually going to read you any of my poems. I'm not sure if I will be writing while I'm away. I'm taking a notepad and pen, but I'm not sure if I'll write. I might just, get back and relax. I have been writing again this week. I've not written the last couple of days, but I think I've probably written about 8 poems this week. So yeah, hopefully I'll not get a complete block on while I'm away. We'll just see. As I say, I never know how these things go. So yeah, on the poetry front, what I wanted to talk about today was I got some good news during the week, and I'm going to be in an anthology, and this anthology is it's only female poets that are in it, and I got the PDF version of it a couple of days ago, and it looks absolutely amazing, and I am honoured. I'm happy and I'm honoured to be amongst so many outstanding female poets. I really am. I only saw the post on Instagram. I saw the post on Instagram, and they said that they were looking for submissions, and that's all I did. I sent them an email and I gave them 3 poems, and the 3 poems have not been seen or published anywhere, not on social media, not in any of my books. That is usually the rule of thumb with submissions. It's not been seen anywhere else, so these poems haven't. I can't, obviously, because it's not been released yet. I do know the name of it, but I don't want to give you too much information about it. I don't think that would be proper protocol to do that. But yeah, I'm very happy. But I also want to say that, and I'll go on to this after I've said that not only did I apply to them, I applied to 2-3 other I made forward applications to 2 or 3 things, and one said, okay, we need X amount of time to look, and they have never ever got back to me, and the other 2 I've never got a reply. And it can be really soul destroying, I have to say. my father had an expression which was nothing ventured, nothing gained. But if you're venturing and you're not gaining anything, it can be quite soul destroying, as well as the fact that I've already said my books haven't done that well. But I suppose that everything just takes time, and regardless, I will keep writing and I will keep trying, because I do enjoy writing, and I know that I've got feedback, and it's been nice feedback. So yeah, I will always, as long as I'm alive, hopefully I will continue to write. But I wanted to tell you this story, and this was a story about a submission that I made last year, to be in another anthology. I'm not going to tell you who it was. It was a social media group, and that is all I'm going to say. I think that's proper. That is all I should say. And I think the theme was called Passion, and I submitted a poem, and the poem was called Passion, and they said that my poem was too explicit. And I read you a couple of poems a couple of weeks ago, and in terms of explicit, I don't think that was explicit, and what I submitted was not explicit. I'm 55, I know what explicit is. I know the difference between shit and shinola, so I know what explicit is, and what I submitted was not explicit, So, long story short, they did say, we would love you to be in the anthology because your poetry is beautiful. Could you, redo it? Which I did. I did, because these kind of chances don't come along every day. And I'm still, trying to get myself out there and get my work recognised. So yeah, I thought, okay, I'll do it. I'll write it again. And I could be wrong, but I think the poem Red, which is in the chapter Lust in A Jar of Stars, is the one that I resubmitted. And I never ever heard from them again. I find these things, as I say, they are very soul destroying. And I also have to say that, at that point, I was ready to just knock it all on the head. I really was, because all I'm needing is a little break, and sometimes that is all it takes for you to get one little break. I'm not looking for, and I've said this time and time again, I'm not looking for, fame and fortune. I'm not looking for that, and I don't want to be the next Rupi Kapoor, because basically, if that's the young lady's name, I think it is, I couldn't handle it. But, to be acknowledged and to get your work acknowledged by people that have been doing, that are in the industry, and they've been in the industry for a long time. It's a difference between night and day with some people to get that break. But if you're trying and it feels like you're just banging your head off a wall, I tell you, it is. It's like, why am I doing this? But anyway, that is the story. I wanted to tell you the story. I think this is the 5th attempt at redoing this video. I might read, I have, not I don't think thousands, but hundreds of poems that are there for the reading. So I might, let you hear Passion or Red at some later date, but I just wanted to share my good news, but also tell you that, in terms of some people just not even giving you an inch, it can be really frustrating. It's frustrating enough being a writer on the days where you can't write, But yeah, I keep trying, because that's my middle name. Yeah, I had done 2 or 3 videos before I did this one. I cried in one. I said the F-bomb and a couple of other ones, so I thought it more appropriate to redo the videos. I'm the girl that doesn't cry, and I've actually cried twice this week, and I'm going to digress, because I love to digress. I was watching The Horse Whisperer, and it made me cry, and then I was crying when I made the video, because I was crying about what I'm going to talk about next. So what I'm going to talk about next is invisible illness and people's total ignorance towards people that have an invisible illness. We have something here, I don't know where in the world you're watching this, if you're in the UK or wherever you are, but we have something now where people who have an invisible illness wear a sunflower lanyard. I've got one, and I don't wear it because I don't want pity, but at the same time I do get very frustrated, and I do get tired of having to explain myself all the time. I think I might wear it while I'm away, just in case I need a hand with anything. Well, it goes back to the point I made in the last video about not asking for help, because I won't ask for help, but in terms of what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, there may be occasions if I'm carrying something that I might need help. I have chronic fatigue, and I have put that in every bio, every book that I write. I've put it in the bios on Amazon Central. I put it in the bio on Smashwords. Why would I put it in the bio if I don't have it? Why would I lie? What have I got to gain from lying? Okay, you can look at me now, and you can look at me as I'm talking, and you might think, you might think the same as everybody else. That is not the case. I know 2 or 3 people that have got invisible illnesses, and they look perfectly well. So, you just, you don't know. You never know. If anybody wants to try and get a handle on what chronic fatigue feels like, I will explain it. I have had chronic fatigue for the last 12 years. I can't tell you what my life was like before chronic fatigue, because I cared for my mother for 7 years before she passed away. I am sort of 50-75% sure that that's what might have caused it. I don't know. But I'm not resentful about the fact that if it did, it did, because I made a promise to my mother that I would look look after her, and I did. I could have put her in a nursing home, but I chose not to. But I have to say, when you're a carer in the community, it is entirely different to caring for somebody or a parent. But, you know, I had no choice. I did have a choice, actually. I did have a choice. I could have stuck my mum in a nursing home, but I didn't want to do that. And I'm glad I had that time with her. I'm glad I had that time with her, and I've no regrets, but it was very stressful. Very stressful. I get called lazy, so if you want to call me lazy, you can call me lazy if you like. But I worked all my life from the day I left school at 16, and I actually gave up my work to look after my mother. If you want to call me lazy, I have self-published 3 books, so yeah, that's how lazy I am. The doctors don't know what causes chronic fatigue, and they can't cure it. I attended the Astley Ainsley Hospital a couple of years ago, and there was young girls up there, and they had it, and they were crying, and I totally get that. I totally get that. When I'm having a bad day with chronic fatigue, it feels like I've got 2 lead weights attached to my feet. It feels like I've got a hangover and I've not even had a drink, or I'm trying to swim through a sea of molasses. That's chronic fatigue. Don't confuse chronic fatigue with tired, because everybody gets tired, and it's nothing to do with sleep. It's nothing to do with sleep. I wake up with blinding headaches. I have muscle pain. If I overexert myself, I pay for it the next day. That's what chronic fatigue is. But if you go on to Google, it totally undermines the severity of chronic fatigue. But, you know, people think that chronic fatigue is just tired. I'm sorry, it's not just tired. There's people who have chronic fatigue and they're bedridden for years. They are bedridden. I thank the Lord above that I'm not bedridden, and I am still able to do things, albeit sometimes on a restricted basis. I have good days, I have bad days, and I have horrendous days, you know, but I'm not lazy. I work voluntary because that makes me feel like I'm doing something worthwhile and I'm giving something back. And my manager at Bernardo's is a very understanding lady, and she knows when she looks at my face that I'm getting tired, and she'll say, Maggie, you need to sit down. You know, but you couldn't do that in a proper job, you know. So yeah, I'm just trying to raise awareness here, because I get really tired of people's total ignorance. And I have to say also that I get really, really, really tired of people telling me I look well. I do. So I'm looking at the clock and it's 20 minutes, so yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up, guys. I'm nearly packed. As long as I remember my passport, I'll be fine. I'm going to wrap this up, and what I thought I would do is I had swithered on asking you to try and guess where I'm going, but I changed my mind, so I thought I would ask you to guess my favourite movie of all time. And my favourite movie of all time has got Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in it. And I think if you go on to Wikipedia, they might be able to help you. And I don't think they've been in that many films, to be honest. I really don't. So, yeah, that's the competition. If anybody wants to try and guess, or anybody even wants to enter this time, you got until next Friday. I will pop on, and I might pop on and let you see where I am. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, once again, it's time to love you and leave you, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. If you tuned in, thanks for tuning in, especially you, Sheila Bryce, because I know you always tune in, darling, and I do appreciate it. I really do. You're one of my dearest friends. And bye for now, and I'll see you, I think, 21st, 22nd of May. Adios.